Hello everyone, welcome to another video in the Learning JavaScript series. Today's topic is operators and expressions in JavaScript. So what's operator and expression? Well, in the programming universe, and operator is like a simple superhero that performs operations on one or more operands. Expressions can be described as a mix of values, variables, and operators. Mixing all of these together will give you your desired results. So let's start with it. So initially I'll declare two variables, let a equals to 10 and let b equals to 5. So we'll be working through this entire video using these two variables. So there are mainly five types of operators in JavaScript, namely arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical operators, assignment operators, unary and ternary operators. So we'll start with it one by one. Let's try with arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators are usually your basic old classic operators which we learned in mathematics. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo. Modulo is basically the percentage symbol on your keyboard right now. So let's try solving each of these. If we try the addition one first, let sum equals to a plus b. Now console logging sum will give us 15 as expected. So this is how the first arithmetic operator, the plus operator, works. Let's let's try subtract a minus b, and console logging this will give us 5. And the third one is for multiplication, and this is how that one works. The fourth one we have is divide, so this will give us 2. And the fifth one is a little tricky to understand. Modulo basically gives you a reminder of if you divide for an equation looking like this, A mod B will give you a reminder what will be remaining after you divide the entire thing. So it will give us 0 because B, because A10 is fully divisible by 5, it will give us 0. But what if we try keeping it 4? So we get our output as 2. But since we have 5 over here, it will give us 0 as an output. So it basically returns you the remainder of the equation that you're trying to perform. So next is comparison operator. Comparison operator only return value in the form of a true or false. In JavaScript term, we call them truthsy or falsy values. Imagine saying something to someone. The information can be anything, but it can either be a true or a lie, that is false. In our programming world, comparison operator perform the act of judgment. That is, these compare one equation to the another one, or one variable to another one, depending on the case that you're putting it in. So there are 8 comparison operators. First is equality, strictly equality, inequality, strict inequality, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, more than or equal to. So firstly, we'll check the equality operator. So what if we console log a equal to b? Now this gives us false because b A holds the value 10 and B holds the value 5, so they are not equal. So this is how a basic equality operator works. But we also have a strictly equality operator in JavaScript. It is A triple equal to B. So currently you can't see the difference between A double equals to B and A triple equals to B, but you will see the difference within a minute. What if I make it 10, both becomes true, but what if I make this as 10 as a string? So JavaScript tries to convert a string into an integer whenever there is whenever we try different types of operator. So JavaScript will always try to convert the string into an integer if we are trying to perform a arithmetic operators between the two. But as you can see, a double equal to b gives you true. So if we try using double equal to, it doesn't actually compare their data types because A is an integer with a value 10 and B is a string with a value 10. So if we use double equal to, we'll get it as true. But on the other hand, if we use triple equal to, A and B, they compare their values together as well as they compare their data types. When they'll just compare their values, they'll get a true value, but on the other hand, their data types are not similar. So A triple equals to B always returns false. It is always advisable to keep a triple equal to sign checked in within your program because double equal to can give you multiple errors while executing a program in a long term. So practice your equations when using triple equal to, and if there is a chance that there might be a type conversion in between, you can use double equal to. So let's actually normalize our values once again. If we keep it as if we keep it as 5. So let's try inequality right now. Console log A is not equal to B. So it is true because the variable A holds the value 10 and B holds the value 5. And if we try console logging A double equal to, this is a strict sign. As I said for triple equals to, same goes for uh, strictly not equal to. It also checks the data type, so it will return true if both these values are not similar, and it will return false if both of them are similar, or else both of them have the same value but different data types. So let's try with less than right now. So the less than operator checks if the operand on the left hand side is less than the operator on the right hand side. And same goes for the other one, the greater than operator checks if the operand on the left side is greater than on the right side. Here in this case, we have 10 on the left side and 5 on the right side. So 10 is of course not less than 5. So we get false over here. And as 10 is greater than 5, we get true over here. So we also have a value checking for less than and equal to. So if we go like this will also check if the values are equal to each other. So this will return us true because the value is surely not less, but it's equal now. If we make it 5, it will return us false. And same goes for the other side. We can check for greater than or equal to. Now let's begin with the logical operators. Logical operators in simple words are like the architects of decision making. That means logical and, logical or, and logical not operator, which you might have studied in computer architecture and computer design. So for trying out logical operator, we might need two more variables. Let's assign a third variable as C with a value 5 and D with a value of 2. So currently B and C hold the same value. Let's just change it to 4, I guess. Then let's try understanding something. I'm going to write a if statement, which will be difficult for you to understand as we have not covered the topic yet, but we'll learn this in our future video for sure. If A is greater than B and C is greater than D, we'll log true, else we'll log false. So what this logical operator does is it compares something on the left hand side towards something on the right hand side. The logical AND operator that we are trying to perform over here should have both of these values as true in order to return true. So if A is greater than B, which it is, that is A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 5, so A is greater than B, and the C over here is greater than D because they hold the values 4 and 2 respectively. So this statement becomes true. But what if I just make one of these false? It will return as false because for the AND operator to return true, it's necessary for both the side to be a true value. In here, it gives us a true value. in here it gives us a false value. So what if I try to do this again, but with a different operator? This time we'll not use logical AND, but we'll use logical OR. A is greater than B and C is less than D. Only one of these conditions have to be true in order to be true. But what if both the conditions are false? So if we make both the condition as false, it will return as false. But if we have either side a true value, it will return as true. And what if we have both values as true? It will still return as true. So here C is also greater than D and A is also greater than B, so it always returns us a true value. And the last logical operator is the logical NOT operator. What exactly logical NOT operator is? As you can see, logical OR and logical AND both operates on two operands at a time. So for logical NOT to work, we only need only one operand. What if I declare a variable with a value true in it? As taught in the previous video, true is a Boolean value. Let E equals to true. What if I console log E over here? It will give us true. But what if I try a logical not operator on E? It will give us false. So this is how a logical not operator works. So till this point we have learned about the arithmetic operators, comparison operators and logical operators. Next we'll follow this with assignment operator. As the name suggests, it assigns a value to something. Assignment operators assign values from the right side to the left side of the operator, and we'll learn it how. First assignment operator is the one we have been using all this time. So this is an assignment operator, a single equal to sign. It assigns the value 20 and stores it in the f variable, so that if we log f, we get 20 as an output because we have the 20 as the value for the f variable. Now we have a few more assignment operators. If we try to combine all of them together, we can call it a compound assignment operator. So the first one is plus equal to. If we try plus f plus equals to 10, we can log the value of f as 30. You can write this in another way. F equals to f plus 10. If we wrote f equals to f plus 10, what exactly it does? It adds the value of f by 10. So our previous value for the f variable is 20. If we add it by 10, it will give us 30. So we can write it in a shorthand way. So this is known as plus equal assignment operator. So likewise, we have minus equal, which will give us 25 because we are subtracting 30 with the value 5. Likewise, now we can multiply it as well, which will give us 50 because we are multiplying 25. The value of f now became 25 after subtracting it with 5. We'll multiply it with 2, we get 50. So the last one is for division purpose. Here, if we write f slash equals to 2, which is actually equal to f equals to f divided by 2. So if we divide that with 5 instead, we'll get 10 as an output. So these are known as, all four of these are known as compound assignment operators, and this is our regular old assignment operator. So the last two operators that we are going to study are the unary operator and ternary operator. So the unary operator is not very different from the not operator. Instead of changing the value from truth to falsy and falsy to truth value, it actually adds a single symbol to change the entire value. So if we write a number 70 and try our unary operator minus num, it will give us minus 70 as an output because it changes the sign of a positive value into a negative value. So this is what a unary operator does. The next one is ternary operator. For ternary operator, we need a bit of a basic for if-else statement, which we tried over here. So in Hindi, we sometimes say या तो ये होगा या तो वो. This is if-else statement. If-else statement is going to be one of the most used part in your coding journey. Try to understand the concept and the logic behind it thoroughly so that you can perform it much better. So if-else condition categorizes the entire thing into if and else statement. So let's try with the num keyword itself. Let us see if the num is less than 50 or not. If we check if the value of num is less than 50, we'll print less than 50. But what if it's not less than 50? Every condition under this will come into else statement. So the value of num is initialized as 70 and we are just console logging it as minus 70. Therefore, the value of num doesn't actually change. And here we are checking if the value of num is less than 50. As you can see, the value of num is greater than 50. We'll get else part as. But what if the number was 40 or maybe 30? We'll get less than 50 as an answer because this becomes true. If anything in the parenthesis becomes true for the if condition, it will be executed. So it will print whatever statement is there inside this, and it will ignore the else part. But if anything bounces off from the condition of if, will all be considered as else statement. So it firstly checks if the num value is less than 50. If not, it will directly come to the else block and execute it without any hesitation. So there is another way to write this in the short term. What if we console log it? Check the value of num first. Num is greater than 50. If yes, then print less than 50. If no, greater than 50. So this is known as a ternary operator. It's a shorthand way to write if-else statement. See, at the end, the conclusion for both of these is exactly the same. It's not going to be different. As you can see, we get greater than 50 over here and greater than 50 over here. It basically performs the same thing, but the way of writing is different, and this ternary operator makes an if-else operator a little bit more concise and easy to read. So it firstly checks if num is less than 50. If yes, whatever is written after question mark will be executed. Less than 50 will be executed and we'll get less than 50. But the value of num is greater than 50. Therefore, we'll get greater than 50 as an output. If we change the value to 20, then we'll get less than 50 as our output. So this is how the ternary operator works. So in short, if-else condition checks the validity of if condition, and if the condition matches, then it executes the block of code written under the if block, or else everything under the else block is executed. And this is the way you write it in using a ternary operator. So please practice this one hard enough because these are one of the most repetitive concepts that you'll ever face in your entire coding journey. So please practice all of these operators: arithmetic operator, comparison operator, assignment operator, logical operator, unary operator, and ternary operator. These are one of the most repetitive concepts that you will face in your entire coding journey. So please understand the concept thoroughly rather than just rote learning it. And you can solve different examples based on these. You can try to find if the number is even number or odd number using the modulo operator I showed you before. You can try to find out if the year is a leap year. Try to understand the logic behind it. It's a simple if-else statement. So if you don't get the answer, check in the description box below. There is a GitHub link. You can follow through it. You'll find both of these, the even odd one and also the one to find out whether the current year is a leap year or not. So keep practicing and thank you again for watching this video. Stay safe and keep coding.